Thank you to everyone for joining the DSA Going Forward update on the 21st of May. As always, you can put questions or comments in the Q&A box and we'll pick them up and answer them either as we go through or at the end of this session. And we're talking about DSA Engage and other activities, our work with government and supporting services, a little bit about information and training, leading on to the work of Our Voice this week, a workfit update, and an update on some of the materials and resources that some of our team have been working on, including 50th year podcast and a photographic exhibition at the Langdon Downs Centre. Then we'll have some questions and finish. Over to you, Sharon.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So just to remind you about DS Engage, which is bringing us plenty of fun every week, plenty of opportunities to get up and be active and move around. And you can do it either at any time to suit you. So we have so many videos now on our YouTube channel with new ones still being added. So you can look at those really anytime. You feel like you have nothing else to do, get up and watch one and join in. Or you can join in with live events. We have a whole weekly program of live events over Zoom where you can see all your friends and do things together. A whole range of things from Pilates, yoga, dance, cooking and crafts, and plenty of workouts at the moment. So find something and please join in. I'm pleased to say that even this week we've had people joining in who have never joined in before and have enjoyed it. So you won't be disappointed if you give it a try. And also this week we had something brand new, which was a lot of fun. So we pop to the next slide. You'll see we had our first ever DS Engage talent show, which was great. A whole lineup of events of all sorts of different talents being shown. It was on Tuesday afternoon this week. The performers did really, really good job, and so did the whole audience. Everyone enjoyed it, was appreciative of everyone who performed. So it was a lovely afternoon. These are just a few pictures. Obviously, I couldn't show you all, but we had dancing, we had reading of poetry, and on the next slide, just a couple more. We had piano playing, and look at this, a whole Michael Jackson impersonation with the outfit and the dance moves and everything. And even as well as those, we had clarinet, we had recorder, we had amazing drumming and lots of other dancing and singing as well. So it was a great show. We have recorded it. We're hoping to release some little clips of it over time, so you'll get to see a bit of what it was like. But that was a great new event. And also, we love to hear your feedback and see what you've been joining in with and enjoying. So this was just a little quote from Mr. Motivator, which is our Wednesday evening workout, which, as they say, it's great fun workout and it caters for every ability. So don't worry about how fit you are or you aren't. It really doesn't matter. You can join in whatever your ability. And Mr. Motivator is lovely. Well, I agree. He's a great presenter and great at working out. So give that a go. The next slide just reminds you about our timetable. So if you still don't know what day something is on, the whole timetable is on our website. You can look there and you'll find something every day of the week, pre-recorded and live events. So don't miss anything. And I'm sure what you want to know, as we were chatting, the weekend is lovely. It's going to be sunny. It's a bank holiday and it's half term. So much time for walking is what I thought. So we have a new daily walk diary sheet, which you could literally do if you're on half term. Every day of the week next week, do a different walk every day. And this is much more of a spring themed one. So looking for bugs, counting bugs, looking for flowers, drawing flowers. I hope that you will enjoy it and let us know how you get on with that. That's on our website for you to download. And then after half term, we have two great specials starting literally the week, not next week, the week after. So Singing Hands are coming back with their pop party on the 8th of June at 4 p.m. So that's literally for all ages. You can do Makaton, you can do singing, and you can do dancing. And I'm sure you know, Singing Hands are great presenters. So it's a really good fun, an hour. So if you've had to go back to school, back to work, come home quick and you can still join in. And then a brand new thing, on Thursday of the same week, we're trying a pilot of a clay making and modeling course. So it's going to be a 4-week course. It's in the evening on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So because it's our first trial, there'll be a small number of people who can join in, and we'd like you to commit to the 4 weeks, and then you'll learn clay making skills over the 4 weeks. But it's going to be great. It's a free course. All your materials are provided, and a DSA apron so that you look the part when you're doing your clay making. So if you would like to find out more about that or you're interested, please just email dsengage@downs-syndrome.org.uk, and then we can add you to the list. And finally, we've got a really lovely film to share with you. These are two friends who had such a fun time walking, and they did their 21,000 step challenge and really enjoyed it and smashed it. So enjoy the film. Let's see what they got up to. Thank you.
Come on then. Good exercise. Well done. Here's a winter bit. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, okay, so we're just about to start our 21k.
Yes,
Day 1.
yes, day
Claire,
one.
are you ready? Are you good
Yes,
to go? You got
yes,
headphones there?
Yeah.
Well done, what about you?
I'm ready to go. I'm aching already.
Nearly there now.
We are nearly there. Oh, everyone.
We are halfway.
Halfway.
We can't do
We
it.
can't do it. We're nearly there.
Right here, there.
You smashing it?
Yeah.
We're smashing it. Day 2.
Yeah.
It's a final day.
We gotta do it.
We can do it.
Yes.
You're going to do it
Yes.
today?
We can mash
We
it.
can smash it.
You got your t-shirts
I
on?
got my t-shirt on.
You look the business today.
I like your business today.
Are you a parrot?
I am one.
Right.
Let's go for it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go for it.
What's rubbish?
Hello, Mum.
Hello.
I'm not watching Antique Roadshow.
No, not
Is
me.
it on Patreon now?
It's on pasta program.
What are you talking about?
Antique Roadshow.
Antiques Roadshow. Why are we talking about that?
I don't know.
Very good. This one's straight down. Well, look at you two. Very, very well done.
Thank you, Trish and Claire, and well done. And now Julian.
Good morning, everybody. Really good to connect with you again for our regular Friday updates. Just a few things to mention that have happened since last week. On Tuesday, we had a meeting with the head of learners at Welsh Government. This is the civil servant that sort of leads on the new education bill. I know we have quite a number of families from Wales on the call who'll know that the statutory reform for education in Wales has been going on for about a decade now. We've been involved throughout that process. So it is coming to a crucial stage now because individual development plans are going to be replacing statements in Wales, or that process has begun this year. So we're working very closely with a team of professionals that are involved in rolling that out, and particularly training for professionals and making sure that families have good quality information. So that I'm sure will be something that will continue over the next couple of months. And then just to mention something, if people have been watching some of the news reports over the last couple of days, there's been some coverage of the fact that we're now 10 years on from the Panorama programme, Winterbourne View, which, you know, if anybody watched that programme would have been very shocked at some of the things that were discovered there. Welsh Government had made a commitment 10 years ago to make some changes around the way that adults with a learning disability in Wales who might be accommodated outside of Wales in very specialist settings. And some of that has happened, but not all of it. And so together with a number of other learning disability charities, we've written both to the Health and Social Services Minister and also to all of the members of the Welsh Parliament to ask them to make sure really that those important issues don't go off their agenda. And I'm sure, you know, we will be seeing some coverage of this over the next couple of weeks. So I think moving on to the next slide, we posted something on one of our Facebook pages looking for good practice studies, so examples from families who'd had a good experience of annual health checks, particularly during this current year, because the way that health services have had to organise themselves is slightly different. And we are aware that some families, individuals have had quite good experiences, so we want to be able to feed that back to NICE, which is the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence. There are about 4 or 5 other things that they asked us to help with, looking for families' experiences. So we've, you know, looked at some of the people that have contacted our helpline and been in contact with a few people to ask their permission that we can share their story. One of the particular aspects that they're very keen to know about is how the last year has affected people with a learning disability, how COVID-19 has impacted on people. And we've got a lot of really interesting and varied experiences through our work with Our Voice. And some of that has been filmed, and so we've directed the NICE team to those films so that they can watch them and hear in you know, the own words of adults with Down syndrome what their experience has been over this last year. And then a really nice approach that came from some work that we did earlier in the year with a Welsh university that trains GPs. So once medical students qualify, if they want to then go on to be a general practitioner, they have to do a further qualification, and we provided a half-day training session for a group of about 50 trainee GPs a few weeks ago, and the course leader has now passed our details on to the course leader for a postgraduate qualification for practice nurses. So these are health professionals that work in GP practices around the country. They do a postgraduate qualification, and we've been invited to go and do a similar type of online training session for those health professionals. So we're looking forward to delivering that over the next couple of weeks. And then as we move forward over the next couple of weeks, I think this is towards the end of June, there's going to be an APPG, which is the All Parliamentary Group on Learning Disability. There are dozens and dozens of APPGs that focus on different particular topics, but this is the one that focuses on learning disability, and we've been active members of that group. And there are various themes for these meetings. The current one, which is going to be in a couple of weeks, again, is looking at the experience of individuals who have a learning disability and their families of living through the last 15, 16 months or so. So we look forward to taking part in that meeting and have a couple of ideas of questions that we may pose to the MPs who attend that group. And then just to update you really on, we've mentioned this, or I've mentioned this probably on 4 or 5 occasions over the last couple of months, and we're still challenging policy officials at the various public health teams, both in England and in Wales and Northern Ireland, around updating guidance for individuals who live in supported living. We're very well aware of the fact that the current guidance actually relates to individuals who live in a care home, rather than the very particular settings of supported living, where individuals have their own tenancy and have or should be able to have much greater rights in visiting family, going back to work, going out and about now that various community facilities are opening. The current guidance is very, very strict, and we feel now that we're moving from a very important position of keeping people safe, and obviously that's of paramount importance. But now that so many people who have a learning disability will have hopefully had probably their second vaccine, we now need to be focusing on the general well-being of individuals and recognizing that being very, very restricted in what you can do isn't particularly helpful. And we will be pushing back on that, making sure that that guidance is updated as soon as possible.
Thank you, Julian. Just to be clear, even clearer, that means that if somebody living in supported living goes home to visit their family and stays the night, when they go to their own home, they have to self-isolate, don't they, for how many days?
It currently says 2 weeks.
Yeah. In England, where you're allowed to do that, you're not allowed to do that in Wales. So totally different rules to the rest of us who now are able to do that. So yeah, we're really pushing on that because it's not fair at all. Okay, this is the slide with some of the events that are coming up. Pregnancy and baby support next week. We have a lovely group of expectant parents and people with young babies on that meeting. Sharing positive support, which is a small group where people go quite deeply into behaviour case studies and solutions. And then Work Fit on the 3rd of June, Wellbeing Wednesday, which is wellbeing support for parent carers. The next the parent carer meeting for people who have children or adult children or younger children have complex needs and or autism is on the 16th of June. And then Restored to Mini, which Julian will be delivering for parent carers, 30th of June. And then Education across 15th of June, 22nd of June for the younger children. Preparing for Adulthood 2 detailed sessions, the 25th of June and the 2nd of July, with packed with lots of information and and presentations from our voice members as well. The 3-hour detailed positive behaviour support session with Debbie Austin and Joe Wilcox, 6th of July. Tell It Right is happening all the time, every day. And then the sessions on education and inclusive education and maths, as well as responding to bespoke training. That's just the training side. Some of our work, obviously there's helpline and information, all sorts of things. And this week we've been working with our voice on rewriting the congratulations on the birth of your baby leaflet, which was due for an update anyway. And that's the leaflet that we print and send out to all maternity services and support groups for people to put in their packs of information. It's also in our new parent packs, and it's also online. But that, all of our resources are online, but some we print and distribute freely, and that's one of those, and a really important one. And I'll hand over to Robin.
Thank you, Jill. See if we go to the next slide, please. So our voice is part of the DSA team, and we all work together for change. I can see some of the members of our voice are in the audience today. Say hello, everybody. It's good to see you. It's the next slide. We've been going through a review process at the moment, and we are currently in this arrow at the bottom, which is where we're starting to make some moves on work that we have planned together. We've got loads of exciting projects that have already started and that are due to start. And the Our Voice team are going to come to talk at one of these updates, lead one of these updates on the 18th. And they will be telling you about all the different things they're doing to help the organisation and the change that they are having. Let's go to the next one. So this week, as Jill said, we're talking about the congratulations leaflet. And we asked them, what would you like to tell new parents about your life? And we're getting some quotes to go in this resource and potentially some others. So we've got a few of those quotes. I'm going to read 2 and then Jane's going to read a couple. So Lindsay said, enjoy your baby, watch it grow up. If your baby has Down syndrome, enjoy it and watch it grow up. And if it needs help, be there for it, especially during school. My life is full and bubbly and I love being around people my own age and other people, and achieving things makes me happy. So thank you, Lindsay, if you're here. And Bethan said, make sure your baby is well looked after and that you bond with your new baby. If the baby has Down syndrome, they need to be well cared for. Just be yourself and have a good, active life. I am proud that I can do my own things and being active. So thank you, and I'll pass over to Jane.
Hi, morning everyone. So Joe said, we want a job, we want our own friends, we want our own human rights, and to be able to do what we want with our lives. Even though we do have our own human rights, there are still these obstacles and challenges in life, which may stop us achieving what we want to achieve. But thanks to the DSA, it has got much better. Thank you, Joe. And then Amy said, I moved out of my family's house into a supported living house, and I live with a friend who also has Down syndrome. I have a great life. I do so many activities. I am just really enjoying my life as it is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane and Robin and Amy and Lindsay and Joe, and I've missed somebody else off that. Bethan, thank you very much. And now to Alison.
Hi everyone, it's lovely to be with you again. I just wanted to give you an update about what's happening with WorkFit this week. And just to let you know as well, we are incredibly busy. We've got lots of employers who are new to WorkFit, who have joined up in the last few months, which is really encouraging and really positive. So the team are working with them, as well as supporting people back into their jobs. Next slide, please, Jill. So just a couple of pictures here of people who are going back to work and are very excited to get back to work. As you can imagine, it gives us all a sense of normality, doesn't it, to get back to our routine. So a big part of our work at the moment is helping people to get back. And now that hospitality is reopening and hopefully on the 21st of June, further restrictions will be lifted, we're confident that everybody will be back to work soon if they're not already. Thanks, Jill. Now we've got a short video here to show you, and I don't know if you recognise the character. This is Frank the Sock Monkey, the DSA. He's basically our mascot. He's currently in this video working at an XPO location. XPO are very supportive employers of WorkFit, and they kindly put this video together to show us some examples of the type of work that Frank and some of our candidates might do in the workplace. really lovely film that XPO created for us, and the link is on there as well if you want to go to the shop and buy a kit to make your own sock monkey. Feel free to do that if you're feeling creative. So XPO have said as well they would love to have a sock monkey for all the sites that are working with us. So you can see we've been very busy in creating some sock monkeys, and we'll be sending them out to XPO with a certificate, just thanking them and recognising them for their commitment and support of our candidates working with them. Thanks, Jill. And Harley wanted to share with us some of his experiences and some lovely pictures. And Harley works for Devon and Cornwall Police. And as you can see, he's a showman. He likes to get dressed up, and he's got some marvellous outfits there from The Greatest Showman and as Danny from Greece. And he also wanted to let people know that he'd been for his vaccination and that it was fine. It's absolutely nothing to worry about. And he's hoping that everybody else will go and be vaccinated. So thank you for sharing that, Harley. He's very keen to know what people think of his costume. So if you want to give us some feedback, we can pass that on to him. And his mum said that he's very keen to get back to work next month, and he's very confident. He's got a growing confidence, she thinks, because lockdown has affected us all, I think, in some way. But once he gets back to work, I think he's going to feel much better, and he's very excited to get back. So we're really glad that Harley wanted to share those pictures and that experience with us. Thanks, Jill. So as we've mentioned, the next event is on Thursday, the 3rd of June. If you'd like to get involved, you can click on the link there and book a place. If you'd like to be a guest speaker at one of our events, we'd love to hear from you. So please do get in touch and let us know. And that's just our general discussion event where we hear from candidates and employers about how things are going. Are they back at work? What have they been up to? Just to, something to connect us all and help us to feel good about getting back to work. And I think there's just one more from, oh no, I just wanted to show you a picture of the team. So we are a small team, and the guys are working incredibly hard, as I've mentioned, with new opportunities and in helping keep people get back to work. So I just wanted to reiterate that if you do need help with anything at all, any conversations that need to be had with your employer or other people in the workplace, please do get in touch with your employment development officer or contact me, and we'd be very happy to help. Thanks, Jill. I think there's just our Twitter feed and a lovely picture there of Marcus, who, as you can see, was very excited following his job interview when he was told that he got the job, and he started work in a cafe in Berkshire. And a couple of links on there to help you if you're thinking about returning to work. So as I say, if there's anything that we can help with, please do get in touch. Thanks, Jill.
Thank you, Alison. And now to Kate.
Oh. Sorry, my mouse stopped working there for a moment. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're looking forward to a nice relaxing bank holiday weekend, hopefully doing some nice things. I often talk about come on here and ask you to send us your stories, and I just wanted to share you the result. One of these stories that we're really happy to share. This is a little snippet of Emily and Luke's lockdown love story, which is a YouTube video you can see on our YouTube channel. And Jill, if you could do the honours.
I think actually, Luke, didn't you take Emily somewhere for something to eat recently?
I did. On my first day, I jetted to a KFC in Parkgate.
And you love KFC, Em?
I love it, yeah. He bought me a drink at first.
And then he bought you some lunch?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, how romantic. So you had a lovely first date, and now that things are opening up again, you might be able to go for lots more dates outside and at the pubs and the bars and cinemas, and hopefully. You both had your vaccinations, haven't you?
Second one.
You've had your second one as well, Em? Have you, Luke?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. That's great. So you're really highly protected, which is good.
Thank you to everyone involved in that video chat. It was great to Becky from WorkFit did the interview. It was lovely to hear from both Emily and Luke about how they what their experience of lockdown was. Another source of some lovely listens is our Shifting Perspectives podcast. We've created 3 series now, and one of our interviewees from the last series was Caitlin, and you can just hear a little clip of her talking on this slide. Thank you, Jill.
Great. And if you could give some advice to our listeners about living with Down syndrome, or just general advice, what would it be?
Aim for the sky, set goals, and believe in yourself. In whatever you do, you can do it. The sky's the limit.
And so all the episodes are on our website, or if you're a Spotify user or an Apple Podcast user, you can find them on there. Joe talked to you about our 50th anniversary photo exhibition a few weeks ago, and I just wanted to reiterate our invitation for, we'd really love to include your photographs in that exhibition. That link at the bottom of the slide there will take you to our photo permissions form where you can submit your photos, and they'll all be included in an amazing room in the theatre in Langdon Down Centre, and be part of our celebrations, and we'd love you to be part of that. So just send your photo in or drop us an email if you've got any questions. We'll be happy to let you know, explain more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we'll answer some questions, and one of those is about signing up for the Sharing Positive Support, and that's where people sort of go deep into one case study, usually at a small friendly meeting. That is already on our website to sign up for, so you should be able to find that. And you're very welcome if you're new to that group. The webinar with Debbie Austin and Joe Wilcox isn't yet available to book onto, but we will get it up next week. And that will be a much larger group, but it will be really, really good. It's one parent's journey of a daughter who has complex needs and understanding her daughter better, and then it's co-presented with the person who was her learning disability nurse who supported her through that. So that'll be a great session, but it's not open for registering yet. It will be next week. Thank you. Right, I'll just check and see if there are any other questions. Thank you, somebody. Yeah, okay. We are changing websites. The launch of the new website is the 7th of June. On the new website, it'll be easy to find training and where to register. And now with the current website, which will be the one for the next week, you've probably all found your way to book events, but if you just search online training and click, it'll take you to all of the events that are happening. Okay, now I'd like to hand over to Carol to finish off and tell you about the next updates.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again on our update. Every week on these updates, we feature members of the Our Voice team and the wonderful work that they're doing. The Our Voice discussion groups and the Facebook group is growing all the time, and more people with Down syndrome are wanting to get involved with the work of the DSA, and we're just overjoyed to have them working with us. It's brilliant. We work them very, very hard, as you've probably gathered, but there's so much to do. Next week, we won't have an update, as Jill says, but the following week, the entire update is being prepared and delivered by the Our Voice team. So I do hope that you will join us, because I think it's going to be really great. So that's on Friday, the 11th of June at the usual time, 10:30. So please do tell everybody that our update will be led by people who have Down syndrome on the 11th of June. The usual email address, if you have any issue that you want to talk to us about, is info@downs-syndrome.org.uk. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a lovely bank holiday weekend. And we'll see you again on the 11th of June. Bye.
Thank you.